Welcome everyone, Christine here with Broken Arrow, World War III. Let's start with a tutorial mission. Which is actually a pretty good mission for this kind of game. Something maybe Red Dragon would have benefited from, certainly Steel Division.
American military presence in the Baltics has been reinforced in response to the Russian military exercises held on both sides of the Sawatki Gap in Kaliningrad and Belarus. With more than 40,000 military personnel involved, ships, tanks, planes, and helicopters, it's the biggest military exercise ever held in the region. Camp Hercus, the new permanent U.S. base in the region, is at the epicenter of tensions, as U.S. and Russian military exercises are held simultaneously less than 20 miles away from each other.
The need for the permanent deployment of U.S. forces in Lithuania is more apparent than ever, and we are looking forward to continuing to take advantage of opportunities to enhance the interoperability of our forces, providing a credible deterrent against any potential aggression, and to operate more effectively should deterrents fail.
General Bennett, you are in charge of U.S. military operations in the region. Why are U.S. forces in such close proximity to the Russian exercise? Don't you fear this aggressive posture could lead to an escalation?
Last time I checked, Lithuania was a sovereign country. If it is their wish to host permanent U.S. forces on their soil, I don't see why Moscow should have a say in that. Now, if you excuse me, I have a military exercise to prepare.
Thank you, General Bennett.
Good morning, Commander. So, have you seen me on the news? Everyone's talking about this exercise. It's not every day you see such a display of power. Reminds me of Desert Storm in '91. Ah, the good old days. Anyway, Major Williams, how are the preparations coming along?
The men are ready, General. We can begin the exercise.
All right then, showtime.
Oh, one last thing, General. A special diplomatic envoy sent by Washington has demanded to meet you. Counselor Miller?
Of course it's Miller. No military demonstration in the world is complete without this vulture showing up. His stupid face is the last thing I want to see today. So let's go. We're on a schedule.
So it begins.
Miller keeps calling and won't give me a break if I don't throw him a bone. Go pick him up at his hotel and take him for a tour, Commander. Show him around the base, do whatever you want, as long as you keep him out of my hair. And take Williams with you. No offense, but she's more talkative than you.
Carrier ready. Moving there now.
Well, Commander, I guess we're the bone then. Miller's hotel is on the way to the training area. Let's hope he's in a better mood than the General. There are units from all three Baltic states regrouped here. Lithuanian artillery, mechanized infantry from Latvia, as well as reservists and armored vehicles from Estonia. They have different equipment, different tactics, speak different languages. Creating an interoperable force in this region is a real headache.
Next waypoint received.
Counselor Miller, I am Major Williams. It's a pleasure to have you with us. The commander and I will show you around on our way to the General. Please hop in.
Well, it's about time. Let's go. Take me to the training ground first. I need to make sure that our equipment is showcased in the best possible conditions.
The exercise is about to start, so you will be able to see for yourself. But I didn't know there was a show.
This whole exercise is for show, Major. A show of force for our potential enemies, but also an arms fair for our partners.
I see. And which partners are we trying to impress today, Counselor?
That's confidential. Just drive, Major.
Already there.
Are we there yet, Major?
Almost, sir. This is the artillery training ground, Counselor. Here our soldiers practice fire mission procedures. The commander will make a demonstration for you.
Well, let's see how much time it'll take you to hit all these targets, Commander.
Alright, so we got BTR training targets. And let's open fire with all our guys. So we got mortar crews, striker mortars. You know, for all the discussion about the Bradley, the striker...
increases with distance. That's why more rounds are needed to hit targets located further away. Smart munitions don't have this problem. They are much more accurate and can correct their trajectory to hit a target designated by a laser.
Yeah, the striker is the workhorse of the US Army. That's why they call it the Striker Brigade.
As you can see, our latest battlefield management interface enables extremely responsive fire missions.
It was I who sold that concept to Congress. Glad to see it works in practice, too.
So how is
Okay.
your hotel, Counselor? I've heard it's quite fancy.
Apart from the fact that I was woken up every 20 minutes by helicopters passing right over my head, it was lovely. Hey, why is the radar of this Patriot turned off?
It's the standard procedure to keep the radar turned off by default, to keep the unit mobile and avoid destruction by anti-radiation missiles. They can still use their backup tracking systems to target aircraft, but in this mode, their detection and engagement range are limited.
Then switch this radar on, Commander. Let's see how far target practice drones can be detected and engaged. Wow, the range of these missiles is impressive.
The efficiency of the radar depends on the altitude of the target. Low-flying aircraft are harder to detect, and helicopters cannot be targeted at all as they fly below the minimum detection altitude of the radar. That's why short-range air defense, SHORAD, is needed to complement long-range surface-to-air missiles.
Correction, only a helicopter flying low would be able to avoid a
fine
Patriot.
demonstration of our firepower, Commander. The message is clear. No country equipped with our anti-aircraft systems need worry about its airspace being violated.
Copy. Relocating.
Alright, let's see what's there. Maybe there is.
Step on the gas a bit, we're crawling.
Sorry, sir. There are strict speed regulations on the base.
Moving there now.
Yeah, of course there are.
Wait! Who are these guys? They're not part of the exercise. They've got nothing to do here.
Don't bother with that, Major. They're with me. They are my bodyguards of sorts.
Pedal to the metal.
Alright, that is a bonus objective.
Oscar Mike.
Pretty easy. Okay, forget the tanks, forget the supplies. Those are very easy to understand. Let's talk about something that's actually going to be important. Striker ATGMs. So, we got Chinooks for helicopters. Like, if you've played the war game, you understand those concepts.
ATGM shooting ground. It stands for anti-tank guided missiles. They travel slower than tank rounds, but have a greater range. Their use is therefore preferable when the line of sight is unobstructed.
Yeah, I know that. Send the targets. Let's see that in practice.
Vehicle standing by. Engaging hostiles.
Okay, so,
In absence of a specific command, the gunners communicate their targets to each other. If a missile is already in flight, the other gunner will give priority to another target. That way, no missiles are wasted.
It's a pleasant surprise to see I'm not the only one worrying about the taxpayers' money here.
The range of the missiles can be superior to the detection range of the unit, so they generally work alongside recon units. The gunners are trained to switch targets mid-flight if the initial target disappears or if instructed to do so. This is particularly useful, as the long flight time of the missile can give time to the enemy to take cover or activate their smoke dischargers.
I hope you use the old TOW 2A for this demonstration. The new top attack TOW 2B costs twice as much, so using them against anything other than a tank is a waste of resources.
Don't worry, sir. We use special training ammunition, both cheaper and less hazardous than regular ammo during exercises. And how was your flight, Counselor?
Pedal to the metal.
Completely unremarkable. You know, I spent half my life in the air, so the only surprises would be finding snakes on the plane, flying the thing myself, or reaching my 60s without getting cancer.
Yeah, so that aspect with ATGMs makes them far more useful than they ever were in a game like Red Dragon. Consider if, like, basically missiles would never hit anything if they lost vision for a second. Here, however, chances are they will hit something at the very least. But regardless, yeah. Everything else in terms of, like, the tutorial over here, like, this is just, like, hop on from one building to another. This is infiltration. Move one unit from a wood to another. Move a helicopter. It's the importance of artillery, ATGMs, and AA defenses that's really some that are really crucial lessons. Now, mind you, if you haven't played the game like this before, I'd recommend doing all of these. But yeah, let's go for it.
Sir. The general's waiting for you. Are you sure you don't want to check out the rest of the equipment first?
That's all well and good, but I'm not here for these trifles. I've got a major fighter jet contract to attend to. So here's the real showstopper. I want you to demonstrate its air-to-ground and air-to-air capabilities for our guests.
Take a seat, Miller. I'm in charge here.
Ah, General. I was wondering when you'd come out of hiding. So, what's on the menu, Chef?
We'll start with a classic. Close air support with good old A-10s.
Yeah, like in '91, the good old days. You never change your record, do you?
Shut up, Miller! Commander, you will be leading this demonstration. Call in an A-10 and order it to destroy the marked targets. Planes must work in coordination with recon to target enemy ground units. The recon detects and identifies the target while the plane maneuvers to attack it.
Solid copy. Diving on target. Time attack confirmed.
Alright, so now let's use the gun, because we used both Maverick missiles. You know, an A-10 should carry more than 2 Mavericks. Just pointing that out. We got some scout snipers, we got an F-15EX. Oh, why did you do that? We can change the altitude of it too. Let's see over here.
Whoa, the sound of that gun always gives me chills. It reminds me of... well, whatever. Send the plane back to base before it runs out of fuel.
I know you want to see that gun in action.
Oh, the developers understood the assignment with the A-10 over here. With that voice line.
Now call in a Harrier to make a bombing run.
Oh, great. Another old crate.
New course set.
That is really an old crate. It's actually older than the A-10, I believe. The anti-aliasing in this game is not the best. Anyway. Open fire, boys.
Strike complete. Good effect on
Send the plane back to base before it runs out of fuel.
sent traffic. Over.
Oh, speed is pretty good. Performance is really good.
Send in the F-15EX now.
Finally.
Okay.
This plane is equipped with a laser designation pod and smart bombs. You mark the target with the pod and the bombs will correct their trajectory to hit with pinpoint accuracy.
Okay. Let's try that again.
You see, making gun runs and guiding missiles is outdated. Now, you drop a bomb from as far as you can and you let it do the job for you.
Well, let's try again with a moving target this time. And you'll see that a human is still needed to predict the target's trajectory. When you take one of these bombs on the face like that, the coffin they send back home doesn't weigh much, believe me. Send in the second F-15, Commander. This time to demonstrate its air-to-air capabilities against drones.
We have potential buyers for dozens of these planes, so make sure these drones are shot down nice and clean, Commander.
Remind me, Miller, are we here to defend these people or to sell them weapons?
Selling them weapons means they can defend themselves. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. I just make sure they buy from the right bait and tackle shop.
Drone destroyed. Proceed to next target. Second target destroyed.
3 out of 3.
There's one more drone, Commander. Finish it. Great job, Commander. If we don't land a contract for a few jets after that, I'll be damned.
General, we've got a problem. I've asked confirmation from the airbase, and they sent 3 drones as planned, not 4.
Oh, shit. Don't tell me we scratched some civvies who can't read a map.
No, sir. The radar signature was definitely that of a UAV.
Well, in any case, that means trouble.
What do you mean complete all objectives in less than 30 minutes? Oh, yeah, right, all objectives. Yeah, I get it. Whatever, doesn't matter, it's only experience, so kinda irrelevant. Continue. Okay, so we've had our bit of training. Now let's jump into World War III itself.
The Lithuanian government denounced a violation of its airspace and posted frontiers with Belarus and Russia.
The unknown object that was shot down during the exercise turned out to be a Russian drone. The official line is that it was shot down to prevent an air collision with our jets training nearby. But the Russians refused to go along with that story and maintained that it was flying on their side of the border.
But it was flying on the wrong side of the border, right?
Well, it was hit in the Lithuanian airspace, but ended up a few meters on the other side of the frontier. So, as you can imagine, they jumped on the occasion to create their own narrative. In any case, the Lithuanian government has closed their borders with Belarus and Kaliningrad until the end of the investigations. As a response, the Russians have placed all their troops at the border on high alert and sent a quote-unquote military convoy carrying humanitarian aid to Kaliningrad. They are approaching the town of Lazdiche as we speak.
And nobody thought about stopping them?
It's a tricky situation. The Lithuanians cannot block humanitarian convoys without breaking international treaties.
Humanitarian my ass. We can't let that happen. The so-called humanitarian convoy is like spitting in our face. Williams, what are our units in the area?
A striker company from 2nd Cav is training nearby. If they move it once, they should be able to intercept the convoy before it reaches the city of Lazdiche.
This isn't much, but it'll have to do. Dispatch them immediately.
General, don't you see what's happening? The drone, the convoy, half the Russian army are on high alert on the other side of the frontier. This whole situation could very well be a false flag operation. If you rush into this convoy with blazing guns, this would certainly give them a justification for a strong military response.
They wouldn't dare. They're only testing our resolve. So we'll put ourselves in their way, make a show of force, and watch them go crawl back under their rock.
And what will you do if they don't stop?
The city of Lazdiche is a vital crossroad to reinforce Lithuania. If they take control of it, we have no way to defend Vilnius in case of invasion. We cannot take the risk to let that happen.
Sir, Stryker Company responded. They are already in sight of Lasdier and are awaiting orders.
Thank you, Major. Let's go, Commander. We have a lot on our plate.
You're just buying into the Russian plan, hook, line, and sinker, I feel. This is why you have civilian control of the military, because generals are about blowing shit up. Civilians are there to, give the final order. Also, where is the White House in all of this? By the way, supplies to Kaliningrad are transported via rail, and there is a treaty on that specific subject. And it's been that way for decades. I know. Tension, justification for conflict, I get it. But, just saying.
The convoy has been spotted a few miles down this highway, sir.
No time to lose, then. This crossroad is the last position where we can stop them before they reach the city. Send your troops there immediately, Commander.
Roger. We're Oscar Mike. Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
The convoy is approaching. We're tracking its position with a drone.
Hurry up! Capture the crossroad before they reach it.
Roger.
Remember, this is officially a humanitarian convoy, and unless proven otherwise, it must be considered as such. Act with extreme caution here, General.
Yeah, of course. Commander, make sure our troops are instructed to hold their fire and engage only if fired upon.
Armored transport reporting in.
Alright, so we're gonna hold fire.
Armored transport standing by. Gauge on site. Weapons free.
We are holding the crossroad, General. They are approaching rapidly. Maybe they didn't see us. Shall we fire a warning shot?
Relocating.
Negative! Hold your fire and stay in the middle of the road. Show them we're here, and they'll back off.
Stryker reporting in. Roger. We're on the move.
They stopped.
Ready for action.
It looks like they're hesitating.
I guess they weren't expecting us. Come on, now is the moment of truth. Either they go back, or they try to pass in force.
Look, they're moving back.
Thank God we won't have a war on our hands today. Congratulations, General. I have to admit, I didn't think it would be that easy.
No, wait. They turned left. What are they doing?
They're trying another approach to bypass us. Commander, redeploy your troops on these crossroads. Show them we're not here by accident. Don't forget to call reinforcements. We'll need all the help we can get to cover all these crossing points.
Stryker awaiting orders. Already there. Someone call for a cab?
Okay, so we're just going to deploy our troops.
First crossroad secured.
Stryker here. We're combat ready. Moving there now. Personal carrier here. Moving out. Someone asked for a ride?
They've stopped again. Second crossroad secured, sir.
Stryker at your command, sir.
Enemy soldiers have dismounted from the trucks and started moving in our direction. We got positive identification of weapons. I repeat, PID of weapons.
We have a building to secure.
Hold your fire! This is a game of chicken. Whoever shoots first takes the blame.
Next waypoint received.
And whoever gets shot first dies.
All bullet cat.
Williams, drop a bomb on the road in front of them as a warning. We must show where our red line stands.
Copy. Relocating. Armored transport, ready.
Okay.
Troop transport, ready. Good copy. Next waypoint received.
Our drone has been shut down.
It's clear they're not coming to shake hands. You're authorized to engage, Commander.
Armed vehicles are detaching from the bulk of the convoy. They're moving up in our direction. Prepare for an assault.
Already
Establish defensive positions in the buildings near the crossroads on our flank, Commander. And make sure our troops are resupplied.
Striker standing
If one of these positions is overwhelmed, fall back on the main crossroad and hunker down there. I scrambled jets to provide fire support, but they won't be there before 30 minutes. Your orders are simple. Hold at all costs until they arrive.
Your men will never hold that long. Give me a minute. We have a pair of AC-130 gunships in the area. I will demand they be rerouted in your direction.
We? Who are you actually working with now, Miller?
Just use the planes and don't ask questions. They will be there in about 10 minutes.
moving there now. Target confirmed. We're engaging. Roger. We're Oscar Mike. Troop transport standing by.
Okay, we need more troopers.
Personal carrier here. Striker here. Look alive! Engaging! Let's go, boys! Light 'em up! Weapons team engaged. What are your orders? Move, move, move! Shut your crow catcher and move out! Personal carrier ready. Roger. Moving out. Get out in 10 seconds! Not 10 fucking minutes! Someone call for a cab? Weapons team in combat. Requesting orders. Move to this building! All walking sandbags! Jump out! Weapons team ready. Heavy weapons team under fire! On ass! We're moving!
All right.
Get in that building! Set up a base of fire! Mortar, ready to fire! Move, move, move! Heavy weapons here. Weapons team in combat, awaiting command. Striker here, go ahead. Weapons team at your command, sir. Order engaged, send your orders. Striker here, we're combat ready. All ass! Rock up, we're moving. Move backwards.
All right, pull back, pull back.
Defensive smoke! Keep running! Heavy weapons team in combat! Roger. We're on the move. Pedal to the metal. Already there. Weapons team here. Weapons team under fire, requesting orders. Heavy weapons team taking fire. If shooting doesn't work, shoot harder. Who needs support?
All right, get those.
Go ahead.
We need that AC-130.
We're on the move. Weapons team at your orders. Pop and smoke. Need some heavy firepower? Copy. We take that building. Troop transport reporting in.
Shit.
Run as fast as you're dumb. Roger. We're on the move. Moving out. Already there. Recon vehicle.
Our flank is starting to crumble. You can abandon ground to gain time, Commander, but make sure you keep control of the main crossroad.
Reconnaissance standing by. Order available, sir.
Be advised, Commander. A second wave of vehicles has forced the border and is approaching on the highway. They are accompanied by self-propelled howitzers this time.
Striker
Static defenses will be hammered by their artillery, so use the mobility of the strikers to avoid their fire.
Someone after a ride? Mortar ready. Send mission. Recon vehicle standing by. Roger. Moving to next waypoint. Good copy. Next waypoint received. Armored transport ready. Artillery moving out.
All right, let's get some vehicles.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me. Like a rocket sled on rail. Who wants a skylight for his house? Ain't nothing gonna get in our way. Mortar ready, sir.
Oh, geez, that stinks.
Logi here, send traffic. Scouts at your orders, sir. Someone call for a cab? Mortar at your command, sir. Armored transport, ready. Copy. Relocating. Moving out. Logistics ready. Mortar ready to engage, sir. Mortar ready. Send coordinates.
All right, where's my artillery?
Supplies. Mortar ready to fire. Fire coordinates received. Move your asses, maggots! Get in that building!
A handful of Lithuanian units have arrived, and will hold the outskirts of the town on our left. Fall back on the main crossroad and hunker down there to receive the main Russian assault.
Moving out. Departing.
That's easy to say.
We're Oscar Mike. Weapons team standing by. Mortar ready to engage.
All right, pull these guys back.
Armored transport standing by. Roger. We're Oscar Mike.
Their artillery fires volley after volley without repositioning. Sadly, our mortars lack the range to provide counter battery without exposing themselves.
4 minutes.
Just asking to be beaten. Williams, contact the Lithuanian artillery battery that was training with the strikers. Those PZH 2000s will come in handy.
At once, sir.
Troop transport reporting in. Troop transport in combat. Roger.
All right, we got javelins.
Keep driving. Someone after a ride? Striker at your command, sir.
The situation is getting dire here, Miller. One of those planes coming.
Copy. Reload.
Almost there. Just hold on a few more minutes.
Sir, the Lithuanian artillery responded. One of their platoons is already on its way. You can call it as reinforcement, Commander.
Proceeding to the next base of fire. Artillery on the move. Direct fire engagement. Ready.
All right, one of them is going to deal with this situation right here.
My mark. Smoke deployed. Heavy weapons team is under fire. Transport here. We're engaged. Striker engaged in combat. Boy, smoke. Mortar at your command, sir. Artillery at your command, sir. On the double squad. Moving out. Mobile artillery reporting in. Engaging targets with direct fire. Mortar ready. Send mission. Striker reporting in. Armored transport reporting in. Weapons team under fire requesting orders.
Where's my support?
Mortar available, sir. Striker ready. Artillery ready to fire, sir. Armored transport standing by. Striker here. Get your asses out of my vehicle. Striker here. Go ahead. Our vehicle has been hit. Need repair. Go, go, go. Engaging hostiles.
Position is overwhelmed. Retreat into the city outskirts and try to survive until the gunships arrive.
Roger. We're Oscar Mike. Good copy. Next waypoint received. Striker ready for combat. Artillery available, sir. Providing direct fire. Smoke screen deployed.
The cavalry has arrived, Commander. The gunships are here to support you. Move them over enemy positions and enjoy the show.
Recalibrate azimuth sweep angle. Adjust elevation scan. Troop transport taking fire. Mobile artillery ready. Send mission. Gunship standing by for target. Changing course. Striker standing by. Everybody out. Roger, flying there. AC gunship waiting target. No party without Hardy. Inbound. Personal carrier ready. I love big guns. Check a leg. Gunship ready to strike.
Okay.
Troop transport standing by. Gunship here, ready to strike. New course set. The Angel of Death is in the air. Armored transport ready. Target marked, direct fire. AC gunship standing by. Gunship ready. Personal carrier here. Heavy weapons team under fire. One more hit and our vehicle's done. Troop transport ready. Roger. We're on the move. Proceeding as frag. Striker here. We're combat ready. Rod, move out. Shut up and let's go. Gunship here.
The Russian troops seem to be falling back.
Smoke screen.
Looks like they've had enough for today.
Providing direct fire.
It was a close shave. The Striker Brigade is in poor shape and needs to be withdrawn. But they bought us precious time to organize our next move. Congratulations, Commander.
No time for congratulations. Reports indicate Russian penetrations on all the main axes leading to the 3 capital cities of the Baltic states. So there you have it, General. Your long-awaited war.
Well, that was brutal. Not gonna lie. Don't lose a single unit? Yeah, clearly. That was certainly ridiculous.
Russian troops are pouring into the Baltic states through every checkpoint from Narva in the north to Vilnius in the south.
The Russians have threatened Europe with the use of nuclear weapons if they dare to get involved. The threat was effective. We've been left to fend for ourselves.
We won't be able to prevent the invasion of Estonia and Latvia, and could quickly end up bogged down in a long and exhausting war of attrition in Lithuania. We're far from home and on our own. Our expeditionary units can hit hard and fast, but will rapidly lose effectiveness.
Then our best chance is to seize a bargaining chip to negotiate with.
And what do you propose?
We take Kaliningrad.
I like it. We have enough forces in Poland and in the Baltic Sea to take the city and even the entire Oblast if things go well. I will prepare attack plans on strategic targets around the city.
Costin signing out.